Hello friends, welcome to another video. Again, in today's video we're going to talk about how I used last known blank value and last known blank functions in the report. In previous video, in yesterday's video, I showed you the pitfall about last known blank value, how you get the wrong value and the wrong month. The month column we used, it was sorted alphabetically, not by the sort by column. So I will put the link to the previous video in my this video's description. But in this video, I'm going to talk about a small trick, how that last known blank value function help us to improve the look and feel of our line visual. And in this particular example, I'm going to use another video which I did a few weeks ago, or actually a few days ago. It was the forecast growth, production growth, and I will use that report and then improve the visual here. I will also put the link to that report in the description. So let's look at the what when I say the improve the line visual, what does that mean? So here in Power BI, what we have is, again, this is the a report from the previous video I did on the production growth. So what we have in this one, what I'm doing is I'm showing the dates, weeks on the x-axis, and this is the actual production, and this is the forecasted production. So where the actual finishes and the forecast start. And there's a whole product X and the cumulative growth percentage we are calculating. So on the last actual production. So for the last actual production, what we did was, again, this was the function used to get the last actual production. We got like end date of week, and on that, like, find out what was the last actual production across all the full calendar, because we want to apply this last actual production for cumulative growth percentage. Do check out that video, how the calculation is being done. But in this case, now I'm trying to visualize the data. I want to visualize actuals, and then also I want to visualize my my forecast. So this is working fine. It's giving correct data, but the problem here is where the actual finishes and where the so actual finishes on 15th of May, and the next week on 22nd of May the forecast start, but these lines are not connected with each other, and this does not give a good look and feel. So to connect these lines, so here is a trick where the last known blank value function will come in the picture. So what we're going to do is, I already actually have a function called last actual production date. So this one is, again, last actual production value, giving us what was the actual production, but now I'm using last known blank function as I shown in the previous video to get when was the last production happened. So there is a measure I already created. So I have a last known blank, and what week was the last production happened, actual production happened, and across the full calendar table. So this will give me a date of 15th of May. So if I put this on, let's put this measure here in a KPI. So this gives me 15th of May is my last production, and again the value was 5200 if I remember. So this gives me 50 how much was the last production. So this is giving me this data point, right? Now my forecast start on 22nd. We need to improve our forecast measure, which is let me show you what the forecast measure is. It's called forecasted production. So this function is already been discussed in the previous video, but we need to improve on this function to join these lines together. So what we are going to do here is I'm going to actually take this measure and recreate another one, call it forecasted production fixed. So the first thing what I'm doing here is we are checking if the forecast growth is not blank, and then only calculate what the forecast is going to be Now what we can improve here is, let me actually show this in a table visual, so that will be a good representation of the data. Actually, let's convert this into a, maybe make a copy of this one and convert this in a table visual. So okay, this is what it is looks like right now. So we have the actuals going on, and then on May 22nd we have a forecast, which is this number. Now the point, that's why the line is disconnected. So what we need to do is, we also need to bring a forecast on 5200 on the same date, and show it here as well, so that then this line will connect together. So to bring 5200 here, like actual, assume that is the same forecast. So we need last known blank date, so which we already calculated. So again, I'm going to create a new I'm going to take my existing forecast production measure, which we are using here, and maybe call it improved. So the function remains the same. The only thing what we're going to do is add another key condition here, and that would be, or if node is blank, if there is no forecast growth, we are not calculating, or we want to calculate this growth. In this case, what we will say, if our last date, which is already stored in a variable, what is this last date is, it's in the row context what we're using. If last date is equal to our last actual production date. So what we're saying is, if the row at which we are looking at the forecast, if that date is equal to the last actual production date, then also return this calculation, which is calculating the future growth. In this case, it will return 5200 because there is no growth percentage, it's always 100%. So if I go back here now and I use this new improved measure, so as you can see now, on May 22nd, a previous measure was 5257, which is correct, but there was no production on May 15th. Now with this improved one, I have a May production in of 5200. So if I use now this measure in my line visual, let's call it improved. I will bring it up here and remove the other one. Here you go. So where the actual ends, the forecast starts from there, and now the lines are joined, and then you can of course make a different look and feel and whatnot. So again, in this particular solution, I use the last known blank value to get the last actual production, and then calculate the projected growth on that, which is in the another video, how to calculate the projected growth. But in here, in this video, what I used is, I took the last production date, and then I made a small change in my forecast measure, so that the lines we can join together, actual and forecast. So this is just to improve the look and feel. At the end of the day, there's nothing changing in the data in itself, but it is actually giving a good representation of the data. Otherwise, before that, it was showing a, with the actual ends the forecast starting next week, so there was a gap in between the two lines. Anyway, this was a small trick how the last known blank function help us to achieve this functionality and help us to improve the look and feel. Let me know what you guys think about that. Maybe learn a few things out of it. Until next video, have a good day. Thanks for watching. Do subscribe my channel. Bye for now. Thank you very much.